When we work for women's and girls' human rights, what we are doing is that we're building a society and a government that is going to give better opportunities to the other 50% of the world that hasn't had it throughout the centuries.
We all bear in mind how important this new Gender Action Plan is. We have now a new document which has been endorsed by the Council of Ministers for Development a few weeks ago. So it's binding, it's EU-wide, meaning all the institutions are involved, but also the member states are on board of this new frame, and definitely we want it to happen. What do we have in this gap? Perhaps in a nutshell, three main priorities from a thematic point of view, which goes from the classical physical integrity arguments for protecting women's, and it goes from female genital mutilation to forced marriage, early marriages, domestic violence, socio-economic empowerment of women, so meaning access to land, female entrepreneurship, or just a few examples to give, because there's a long list of things that we want to do. And of course, the third element of this three-pronged approach would be empowering women in terms of policy, so the voices, as we used to call them internally, so ensuring that political representation of women comes up to the adequate level. Obviously, we have a fourth one, which is another extremely important element for the gap to become a reality. And this is what we've called the institutional, it's an horizontal priority, what we call the institutional cultural shift.
Shifting mentalities, changing these attitudes, I think this is one of the most important things that we have to do at this moment.
Each of these thematic priorities has specific objectives that have been assigned to them. They also offer select number of indicators and some examples of type of action that can be undertaken to achieve the goal that has been assigned.
The reason why I think it's important to have indicators of performance is because we need to try and track what is actually being achieved with the money that we are given. Across many of our stakeholders, so that's the European Member States, European Parliament and the Court of Auditors, all of them have been asking, given the approximately 7 billion worth of euros that we receive and spend on their behalf, what is actually being achieved with that money?
It's a tool to engage with our partner countries, the national authorities, and everyone, civil society locally, obviously, so that gender dimension really becomes a reality. This action plan has also to be put in the framework, in the context of the new SDGs adoption that has taken place in September in New York, where we have a specific goal on gender, Goal 5, which will frame the global agenda of development and cooperation and development, of course, in the future. So having this as a goal and having a tool to transform this goal into a reality of our daily work is, of course, of utmost importance.
I think one of the main goals of donors within the international cooperation is to help countries achieve a greater human development. When we invest in girls and women, when we have women that are educated and healthy, that means that the next generations are going to be educated and healthy, and that means that we're going to break the cycle of poverty. Actually, the General Secretariat of the United Nations has frequently said that to condemn a country to a gender gap is to condemn it to poverty. This century is the century when people are making the promises that are in the Constitution effective. So it's time to make effective those constitutional and those international legal frameworks.